Hey everybody, it's me, Shannon Moore again with our serving suggestions, where we take one of the comprehensive orchestration tutorials from Philip Johnston's website, orchestrationrecipes.com. We will demonstrate how to use the VSL's Synchron Prime Edition library in a simple step-by-step guide. Today we are giving serving suggestions for the pre-battle horn bavarois with a snare au chocolat, which will sound like this. If you haven't seen our intro video yet, make sure you check it out. All of the basics are explained there, and it will definitely help you to not start the pre-battle without the pre-battle intro video. We will start with our hero in this piece, the solo horn player. Step 1. Instrument and preset selection. For this preset, we will select horn 1 with the distant microphone mixer preset. This will create the distant sound of our hero as if he is at the front of the battlefield. Step 2. Preparation. The selection of the right patches for this main instrument is the most important part. To make the whole piece sound correct, we will put in some extra effort here. Don't worry, the other instruments will be way less complex. We will use the following patches: staccato, agile, and staccato for the beginning of each phrase, sforzato and portato for the more pronounced endings, legato, long notes for less pronounced phrase endings, and a custom patch where we combine long notes with portato for the accent at the end. Here are the details of the first two phrases. As you can see, the first phrase only uses the staccato agile patch, and the second phrase uses this only for the first two 16th notes. Then it plays back the 8th notes with a standard staccato patch. This already creates some sonic diversity, and these variations are crucial for a realistic performance. Just play around with the staccatos in the other phrases to see what works best for you. And here's a screenshot of all the non-staccato articulations used. You will see that in most cases we use the sforzato patch, which gives the ending of the phrase a nice accent. When the phrase ends on shorter notes, we can also utilize portato, which again brings in more variation for the patch selection and therefore results in a more realistic playback. Even though there are two longer legato phrases in the original recipe, we only use one legato transition patch and we substituted the others with portatos again. It is a matter of taste, and we can't say this enough, how it should sound right to you. So if you prefer more legatos or other patches, just play around. That's also the reason why I decided to add a custom patch for the fourth to last note. I really liked the portato sound, but it was too short. Applying time stretching to the portato patch did not give me the desired result, so I created a custom patch. Here I will show you the process on how to do this. Go to the Edit tab of one of the custom articulations, click on the plus icon, drag and drop the long notes and the portato patch into the new dimension, and enable the parallel mode here. Set the parallel mode to mix, which will result in having both patches played side by side. And rename the patches by double-clicking the slot. This is how it will sound. So you hear that the start sounds like pure portato articulation, but the sound goes on. This custom patch now acts very similarly to the existing sforzato patch, but with a longer and softer accent. Step 3. Basic phrasing. The basic phrasing takes a little more work to polish. We don't want our heroic horn soloist to go into battle without his shiny armor. As always, start with balancing the short and long notes against each other with velocity and velocity crossfade on CC1. Then use velocity crossfade again to create decrescendos at the end of the longer notes. Make sure you not only shape the long phrase endings, but also the quarter notes. Next, we use timbre adjust on CC8. You can see that there is a trend from having a softer start in the first 3 phrases, and the overall sound is getting more intense towards the end. We also use timbre adjust to increase the fade out of the longer notes. One specific thing you see here in bar 8. Here, the volume from CC1 decreases during the legato transition, but the timbre and intensity increases. This results in a less pronounced second note, but without a decrescendo effect and a continuous timbre. And as usual, in the last step, we will use slight adjustments on expression, or CC11, to increase the dynamic range for our phrases. And that's it! No need to adjust the humanization delay, as we will add a tempo track to the piece later. And this is how it sounds. After all that hard work with the horn, we can now look forward to an easier time with our snare drum. We use the compression and reverb mixer preset to go with the distant horn. Just add some variation and accents with the MIDI velocity, getting slightly louder as we reach the end, and enhance this effect with the expression fader. Then you're done! No need to add tempo humanization here either. The snare and the horn are always playing different rhythms, and we will add to their variation with a master tempo track added in the last step of today's video. Violins. Step 1. Instrument and preset selection. Use the first violins with the Ambiance Mixer preset. Step 2. Preparation. We will use mainly a legato patch here, with 2 exceptions for portamento transitions in bar 12 and on the last transition, where the portamento on the octave interval really fits perfectly. Step 3. Basic phrasing. As we only have long notes, phrasing is not as complex as it was with the horn. Just create 3 different phrases from bars 9 to 11, bars 12 to 14, and add a crescendo effect for the last 2 notes. As always, use the velocity crossfade, or CC1, as the main tool, and then enhance this with the expression slider, or CC11. Now we can work out some details, especially the 8th notes in bar 11. They need a little volume boost with these 2 sliders. They are just too short to stand out from the melody otherwise. And as a final step, use the timbre adjust to shape the end of the phrase and add even more variation. Step 4. Finishing touches. We skipped the humanized delay scale for the first 2 instruments, but here we will definitely need it. As the violins play a slow melody, adjust the value to around 30. The strings are going to be super simple again. Use the Tutti full range patch with the catchy microphone preset. This preset sounds quite aggressive with lots of bite in the tone. Add some randomization to the velocity values, either manually or use the function almost all DAWs provide. Set accents on the downbeats, and shape the phrases with a repeated 3-bar crescendo, 1-bar decrescendo pattern, and a crescendo to the maximum during the end of the piece. Draw the velocity curve with the expression fader again, and add a humanization delay value of around 30. Now the ingredients are prepared, and it's time to mix them together. Adjust the main volumes of the instruments. The picture on the screen will show you what volume to adjust them to. Keep in mind that we still want to increase the distant effect of our snare drum. Set the main volume mic and the reverb slider in the mixing tab to the maximum, and the close microphone to the minimum. For the first violins, you can disable the EQs and add slightly more reverb by raising the value of the original preset from value of -3 to -2. For the strings, we will just boost the volume of the double basses mid microphone to -4, disable the equalizer on the room mix microphone, and add additional reverb with a value of 0 for all microphones. Other tweaks. As already mentioned before, we need to add a tempo track as the last step. The whole piece has a tempo of around 120, but as you can see here, we added variations of plus or minus 3 beats per minute. Together with the humanized delay in the strings, we can now achieve a less robotic rhythm. Also, watch how I add a ritardando in the last bar. So, what did we learn today? With the horn soloist, I demonstrated how to make a very complex instrument phrase by using a wide range of articulations and even created my own custom articulation. The better you know the patches of your instruments and the different functions provided by the Synchron player, the more tools you will have to bring in variation, and therefore improve the playback result. And talking about variation, we also learned how to use the tempo track for timing variation, a very important tool. So that's it! Our team of heroes is ready for battle. The heroic horn with a snare au chocolat will definitely be able to take on any future musical challenges. Talk about Breakfast of Champions. Are you hungry for more and looking for additional challenges? Check out orchestrationrecipes.com and try to apply what you've already learned to the other recipes there. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel. That way you don't miss any of our videos and be notified as soon as we upload the next serving suggestion. Bye for now!